everybody.
Hello.
Welcome to our podcast, Tea and Ketchup. My name is Trista, one of the hosts.
My name is Kassia, the other host.
We're excited to finally do this. We've done 2 episodes and flopped on filming them.
We didn't flop on filming. Recording. We recorded them and then we didn't post them.
Flopped on the execution.
Is that what flopping is?
That is what flopping is.
Darn.
Anyway, well, we definitely are excited for this podcast. I thought we could take a minute to introduce, there are a lot of news podcasts out there, and there's a lot of news podcasts out there with sisters.
Are there?
Well, I guess I don't know. The Toast is the main one that I know about, but they only talk about the top 5 stories of the day, and
Every day. They record a podcast and talk about the news every day.
And they only talk about the pop culture-y type stuff.
Wow.
So here's where I think our podcast is a little bit unique. Kassia, I don't know. Explain you.
Oh, explain me. Well, my contributions to this podcast would be the news, because I love the news. I got my degree in communications and political science. I am intrigued by how what is going on in the world is communicated to society, and that's the news, fortunately or unfortunately, however you look at it. But I try to stay informed. But on that note, I'm not a journalist. I don't know all the details. I can only talk about what the media is giving me, what the world is giving me. So, but I don't know. I don't know if that suffices to explain what I'm about.
Kassia's giving political science type of news. This is not 10 dead in a fire, and
I'm sure every day I could get on here and say there was a mass shooting, and I'd probably be right.
Not to laugh at that, but yeah, she'd probably be right. But she is providing political news in a understanding that she has, quote unquote, palatable way to you. Yeah.
I keep telling Trista that it's not fun being the news person, because she has the fun part of the podcast. The news is brutal right now, man.
I would say debatable. Trying to teach you pop culture news is significantly harder to me.
But teaching me pop culture news, the teaching of the news, okay, great, that could be hard. But pop culture news doesn't emotionally drain you after reading everything. True. I having to do all this research and figure out what's going on in the world, and makes me want to go curl up in my bed. Which is probably why we haven't been on top of this podcast thing, because I would have to talk about all the terrible things every week. But it's fine, you know.
Do it anyway.
I can get on my high horse. Yeah, I talk about these things, but when I'm doing dishes, raging into the void.
But now we get to stare at each other on my bed and look at each other's eyes.
Now I get to look at you in the eyes and talk about how terrible the world is, and you get to listen to it.
Yeah.
You're right. You know what? I'm turning around on this whole podcast thing. I just get to complain to you about how awful the world is, and then I go to bed, and you get to cut it. You get to cut it and listen to it, and I move on with my week.
Yeah, I'm the editor of this thing. Producer.
Anyway. Your turn. What are you about?
That's Kassia. And again, kind of what I alluded to. I am doing pop culture news. I'm putting it out there that when I was in grad school, I got my degree in clinical mental health counseling. So I am full-time a therapist. But when I was in grad school, and even before then, I've been really interested in pop culture news just because it's in your face. I don't know. I'm invested in that. And Kassia is not.
I am not. I learn about pop culture by the fleeting random tweet, and then I ask Trista about it later. And sometimes I can Google things. I've Googled things, but like I'm not Googling. What's that show you watched about a bar called?
Vanderpump Rules.
Vanderpump Rules. I'm not Googling what that's about. I'm just saying it's Jersey Shore circa 2020. I don't know when that show came out. I don't know. I don't know anything about Vanderpump.
Right.
But
right.
it's the new Jersey Shore. There's like categories of pop culture, and Vanderpump is in the Jersey Shore category. Congrats to Jersey Shore. They own the category.
What about the Kardashians?
That's also the Jersey Shore category. Okay.
But the Jersey Shore owns the category.
Jersey Shore owns the category.
You heard it here first.
Yeah.
Folks.
No, if you just film a bunch of people just being, and there's no plot, there's no rose ceremony at the end, you're just being people, there's no competition, you're Jersey Shore. You're a Jersey Shore reality TV show. There's new reality TV shows with people from TikTok, Jersey Shore. They're all Jersey Shore. Everyone, it's Jersey Shore all the way down.
Well, the one caveat and the one thing I will say before we jump into the podcast really is that we have to be very, again, I'm a therapist. So this is a message to all of my clients, first and foremost. There are things and opinions that I have that you might not agree with. And if you feel like that is going to put our therapeutic relationship beyond repair, or you're going to look at it a little bit differently, I'm going to kindly ask you to not listen to this podcast. I have my own podcast that you're more than welcome to listen to that is a little bit more mental health related. That one is called Authenticity Speaks, which is also out now. But that's my biggest caveat is if you are my client, this is the warning. This, and I'm going to put it in the bio of this podcast. This is your warning. I will have opinions. I am human. Not all of us will agree together, but I will always respect yours. Okay. Well, Kassia, the format of this podcast is going to be different than most news podcasts because we are only a weekly bean, but we're doing the 5 top for each of us. So that's like 10 stories. 5 top things for each of us that you should know that we feel like has gone on during the week. Do you have anything to add to that?
I have like 7 things that happened, but I'm only going to talk about a few because that's too much happening.
Great.
It's not possible to talk about all the things happening.
True.
So I'm going to be selfish and talk about the things that are most relevant to me right now, I guess.
Right. Okay. Well, I thought I would start on a positive note. I thought we would play a game because I thought it would be funny for you guys to really recognize where Kassia does not know anything.
Trista, I feel like
Reality
I'm in the
TV.
majority.
No.
I'm in the majority. I'm pretty sure most other people don't know about this. Like everyone in our family. I think you're the only person in my whole family
so
that
let me
knows
explain
this
the
stuff.
game.
Okay.
Let me explain the game,
Okay,
and then
ready.
it's gonna be available.
Are you gonna bring up?
I am doing the first game on here, which is the Kardashian Jenner game. And I have 10 questions that I want Kassia to guess. And these are like, oh yeah, duh type of questions.
I know enough.
Okay.
I know
Here
how
we
to
go.
pass a test.
Number 1. How many sisters are in the Kardashian Jenner?
5.
Oh, wow. Bonus points if you can tell me how many Jenners there are and how many Kardashians there are.
Oh my gosh. Of just the sisters?
Yep.
Okay, so the Kim, Chloe, Courtney are all Kardashians. There's the brother.
But we're not
I
talking
think
about him.
he's a Kardashian. Oh, yeah, we're not talking about him. And then Kylie and Kendall
Mm-hmm.
are Jenners.
Great
Because
job.
they were birthed when Homie was married to Homie.
Okay.
Chris. And I don't remember their name.
I mean, it's Caitlyn
I know it's
now.
Caitlyn Jenner now. Bruce. Back when Caitlyn was Bruce.
Yep.
They had Kylie and Kendall
This is so painful.
Jenner. And that's why they're Jenners. Anyway.
Okay, great. Good job. I'm actually really
I told you,
impressed.
I know things, okay?
I'm impressed.
Yeah, thank you.
Number 2. Who was in a relationship with Tristan Thompson?
Hold on. That was... Which one's the tall one? That was Chloe.
Good job.
I thought it was Kylie for a minute, but it was not Kylie. Chloe was with that guy, Tristan Thompson.
Do you know what her husband's name, her ex-husband's name is?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't. That's
Lamar.
Lamar. Cool.
Moving on. Number 3. Who is Kris Jenner currently in a relationship with?
Bro, I don't know.
She's been in a relationship with him for like over 10 years, I'm pretty sure.
I'm hoping with Caitlyn Jenner. Team Chris and Caitlyn.
No, Corey Gamble.
Who the frick is that?
Who she's in a relationship with.
Corey Gamble?
Yep.
Sounds like someone I went to middle school with.
Oh my gosh. Okay, number 4. Who is currently married to Travis Barker?
I know this one. I just have to remember which person it is. The short one. Courtney. I don't know why I always want to switch up Courtney and Chloe. I don't know why.
I don't know either.
But it's Courtney.
Okay.
Courtney's married to him because she was with the really funny guy and then they never got together.
Scott
Disick.
Mm-hmm.
Good times.
The Lord.
What?
He got a Lord title.
Like
when he
officially?
was in UK, yeah.
What did he do to deserve that?
I don't remember, to be honest.
Did he buy a plot of land?
I think he bought land.
Because yeah, I know you can like buy a plot of land in like Northern Ireland and get a lord title. So I think that's fake. I don't think he's actually a lord.
Okay.
I'm not calling him that.
I mean, it's on his Instagram.
Yeah, well, I could put whatever I wanted on my Instagram. I could be Queen Kassia. And what's the UK? UK's got nothing on me. Okay.
True. Okay. Number 5. Who famously said, "You're cute, jeans"?
Bro, I don't know. Famously? That's not famous.
Out of the 5 Kardashian sisters. When Kris says, "Those are cute jeans," and she goes, "You're cute jeans."
I don't know. The only line I know from all of the Kardashians is when Kim Kardashian loses her earring in the ocean and Courtney says, "People are dying." And
I was going to put that one on there, but I knew you would get
No,
that.
I know that one. That's one of the
I know-
funniest things ever. I think to myself, people are dying all the time. Anytime anything mildly inconveniences me, I'm like, but God, Kim, people are dying.
People are dying. That was Kendall Jenner,
Kendall Jenner.
the oldest of the Jenner sisters.
This is a famous line. You're telling me people would know
You're
this
cute
answer?
jeans. Yes.
I don't think so.
The
I'm gonna go
next
ask my
one.
boss.
This is another quote. "You're gonna die anyway. You understand that, right? Die with a good Snapchat going through."
Oh my gosh. These people need a reality check. Snapchat does not matter.
Just take a guess who you think it was.
Chloe.
Good job.
Heck yeah.
Good job. Okay. This one. Oh, I did put it on here. Kim, there are people that are dying.
Yeah, that was Courtney.
Yeah,
I can
got
picture
that
that in my... I can visualize what's happened. She's like holding
Okay.
her child on like the porch.
The next one. "'Cause I'm gonna get wasted. I just finished a cold cup of 42. Now I'm about to go for my second one."
cold cup of 42, like a 42 ouncer from Maverick. That's what Miss Adams in fifth grade used to
get. So what?
Oh, 42. Bro, I don't know. I'm just guessing who said that.
Mm-hmm.
Who was feeling spicy? Hold on. I'm just... Courtney.
No.
Kim.
No.
Kylie.
Yes. I have the best advice for women in business. Get your fucking ass up and work. It seems like nobody wants to work these days. Good job.
Have words for her about that.
Oh. Who famously filmed a Pepsi ad that went
that was Kendall.
Yeah.
Because they did they satirized that Pepsi ad in The Boys.
Yeah.
And I thought that was absolutely incredible.
Last question. Bonus question. Okay. Who says, rise and shine?
Rise and shine. That was Kylie.
Good job.
Rise and
you
shine.
Honestly did a lot better on that than I thought you would.
Yeah, you underestimate my pop culture-ness, okay? I'm on the internet. Like, just because I don't watch these things.
I'm just like shocked.
Like, well,
except you didn't know about the Wi-Fi one. Die with a good Snapchat going through. But you did guess it right. You got 10 out of 10. You got 12 out of 12.
I'm a killer. Well, because here's the thing. Just because I don't watch the shows that all these things are based off of doesn't mean like the internet doesn't give me the highlights. Why would I watch the Kardashians if I'm getting all the good stuff on the internet anyway? Right. You're telling me that everything else that didn't make the internet is worth it? Probably not.
I think it is.
Well, that's why you're the one giving me a quiz and I'm not.
Yeah. Okay, that was my game to kind of get us into the mood. So
you really thought you were going to get me with that one, though.
I did. I'm going to have a better game.
Yeah, you got to ask me about things that the internet wouldn't be able to tell me.
Yes.
But, oh, now you want me to go? Oh, yeah. My. Either yesterday or 2 days ago, the Department of Education was disbanded.
Why is the Department of Education important to you?
Well, it's kind of a way to nationally organize our education system and make sure that an educated population is better off, one would think, which is why I feel like dismantling it is an attempt to de-educate the population, unfortunately. Is de-educate a word? Look at me talking about education and I don't even know. I'm saying fake words. That could be a word, though. Maybe.
Could be.
Why not? I could be queen. But yeah, they dismantled the Department of Education and they're like, and I say they. It was our good man, Donald Trump, said that it's popular and everyone wants it to happen, which is not true. It's not popular. But he said that it's going to happen because we're giving the power of education back to the states, that the states get to make their decision. I just don't think he quite understands the disparity in education currently with the Department of Education. I can't even fathom what the disparity in education quality will be when states that currently are already struggling with education now no longer have that resource or funding. We're in Utah. So Utah, I feel, well, thankfully, or maybe, I don't know, I feel like Utah might still care about educating its population. I can't say that for other states. And because I'm not, completely educated in all of the ways that the Department of Education assists other states, I will not go into, I don't know. I don't know what states will be impacted the worst. All I know is that, for a party that was so No Child Left Behind, they're planning on leaving millions of children behind.
Well, in their eyes, it's like we're teaching kids bad things right now.
Mm-hmm. That's... Oh, no, I can't I have my theories, and short of being a conspiracy theorist, I can't, dive into all of them. But I do think dismantling the Department of Education is a huge mistake, and it's going to result in the population not being educated, and it's going to hold us like not the reason, but America is ahead in a lot of ways when it comes to education, when it comes to, I'm not going to say education actually.
We're not the leader.
Especially,
let's put that out there. We're not the smartest.
We're not the smartest, but we have smart people. Like we have a lot of people. A few of them got to be smart. We got like 330 million, maybe 350. So. A few of them have to be smart. But we're taking but I think that's the problem. That's why they're dismantling it, is because there's a correlation between becoming more educated and moving further left on the political spectrum. And we can't have that now, can we?
I also think it's important to point out that the Department of Education was the one that was helpful in regulating like diversity and making sure there was inclusion and all, just diversifying education as well. And so getting rid of that and leaving it up to the states, I'm worried about some of the states' ability to not be racist.
Yeah. Oh no, the education is going to be sporadic and not consistent across states.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I think being in Utah, we're lucky because I think Utah does care about making sure that its population is educated. But now it's going to be the downside of Utah is Utah can also pick who do we feel like educating?
Right.
Like that's the worst part of that comes down to it, is like Utah has to now decide to fund public schools.
Mm-hmm.
And wealthy people will always have the option of private schools. They don't have to worry about their education. But if you're not wealthy,
bye-bye.
You get to worry about, are there going to be public schools? Do I need to educate
mm-hmm.
myself in algebra now to teach my child?
Mm-hmm.
Are they even going to keep teaching algebra, Anyway, isn't that such a fun piece of post-Kardashian news, is the Department of Education an executive order has been signed to disband it. And I say an executive order was signed, and not immediately coming out and saying, the Department of Education is disbanded, because there's always a chance someone could stop it.
Maybe.
Just like the judges have been trying to stop immigration and failing, there's always a chance someone can try, I suppose. Anyway.
You just worry about the people who are in a lower social standing and how their kids are going to be able to get to the place where some of the others are based off of their access to education.
Yeah. Access to education is a privilege, and it can potentially be taken away from millions of children.
Yeah.
Which makes me sad, because I think education is one of the most important things that you can provide for your population. But I'm not the president, and the president's supposed to be smart, just makes pretty, solid decisions for his society, so maybe he knows something I don't.
Well, you are Queen Kassia.
I'm queen. Who needs a president when you've got a queen over here, okay?
Well, thank you for that one.
Anytime.
Thank you. Next one. The first thing I wanted to point out, there are some celebrities who I don't think should ever die. First thing I want to point out.
Okay.
Like Anne Hathaway.
She doesn't age though. I don't know if you've seen her lately. She's not going to die because she's not aging. She's still 20.
But Harrison Ford is. And I don't want Harrison Ford to leave me.
Harrison Ford is aging.
There's some celebrities that I just think, I'm like, dang, you can't leave us.
Keanu Reeves.
Uh-oh.
I need to keep him around. Love me some Keanu Reeves. Dolly Parton.
Mm-hmm.
Her husband just died.
Yeah.
But Dolly Parton's not going to, because she's also going to live forever.
She's living forever.
So she has to, actually. Does Bernie count as a celebrity? Oh, Bernie's
Bernie needs to live forever.
I need Bernie to live forever.
Oh, Bernie. Well, on that note, I thought I would start with something Kassia was interested in.
Ooh.
Ghost Adventure star Aaron Goodwin's wife had allegedly hired somebody to murder him. And she's in jail right now.
Aaron's the bald one?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So, according to TMZ, Victoria Goodwin was arrested earlier this month and booked on solicitation to commit murder. She was messaging a Florida inmate about getting out of her marriage and sent a message saying, "Am I a bad person? Because I chose to end his existence, not divorce."
She clearly doesn't believe in ghosts. What a fake wife. She clearly doesn't believe, because he's not ending his existence. He's gonna come back and haunt your ass.
Right.
Like, he's still gonna be around, girl. You kidding? So unsupportive.
And wasn't Aaron the one that was always like, "My wife wants to divorce me because I brought ghosts home with me"?
Oh, I remember that.
So I'm like,
clearly does believe in
yes.
ghosts. Okay, I do have a question to pose to you. Let's say you are a ghost hunter. You believe in ghosts, and your spouse is like, "No, ghosts aren't real." Are you still marrying them? And this is a fun question to ask in the day of age where people don't think politics should split up people dating. So I'm curious if ghosts would reach that threshold of deal breaker for you.
I mean, if I wasn't a ghost hunter, no. But if I was a ghost hunter and somebody's literally shitting on my job,
I guess that's the equivalent as if you were, because you're a therapist, and if you had someone that said therapy doesn't work,
then yeah, no.
Then yeah, that
wouldn't work. So doesn't work.
Thankfully,
no wonder they worked out.
My job is a bank, so he could say banks suck, and I'd agree with him. Say, "You right, bestie."
Anyway, so Aaron was actually filming Ghost Adventures with Zach Bagans when the cops informed him of Victoria's plan to kill him.
So they caught that live in 4K?
I don't know, but Aaron had stated publicly since, "Thank you for all your love and support through this emotionally trying time. It has really helped a lot, and I appreciate you all."
Take a step back. They're still filming?
I guess so. Kassia and I used to be obsessed with Ghost Adventures growing up.
I love Ghost Adventures. I thought that was so fun. And sometimes I get on a kick. You know, I subscribed to Discovery Plus for 2 months for $5 per month through Amazon.com so I could watch Ghost Adventures. And I did. I watched a lot of it, and then I unsubscribed, and I was like, well, that was nice. I
also made it a priority to go to the Zach Bagans Museum.
We did do that. Zach Bagans did not haunt me, unfortunately. That's what... do you remember one of the requirements there, or not requirements, but like one of the disclaimers was that they were not responsible for a ghost accosting you. And I wanted to know, I didn't ask, but I wanted to know if they were responsible if Zach Bagans accosted me.
Oh, that's a good question.
But I didn't
Zach
ask.
Bagans?
Yeah, if you're listening, I would like to know.
Of course he's listening.
Would you provide financial compensation for accosting me in your museum?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was a crazy one that I thought. So
Murder
that's why
I didn't see that coming. That was way
crazy, right?
out of left field.
But yeah, there's some celebrities who can't die, and apparently Aaron is going to be one of those who can't die.
Aaron Goodwin?
Yeah.
I'm not saying he has to live. I'm just saying he's not going to cease to exist. He's going to become a ghost and follow Zach around.
Right.
And
his wife.
And we'll see.
Well, they filed for divorce.
Oh, good. Honestly, that should have been step 1, not step 4 after the, murder for hire and getting arrested. But what do I know?
Right.
I haven't been married.
Totally.
Maybe it's easier to kill your spouse than it is to get a divorce, which... Is that what bombastic side-eye means? The face I just made? Is that what... Did I do it?
Criminal offensive side-eye.
What's the difference between bombastic side-eye and criminal... Oh.
They just, emphasize it. I'll have to show you the audio later.
So it's just side-eye.
Side-eye.
But with adjectives.
Yes.
Gotcha. I guess it's not so terrible, but not terrible. But the Fed, and the Fed is just when someone tells you big words and you just nod and you're like, yeah, I know what you're talking about. But the Fed is an independent government agency who sets like interest rates or sets rates, and they a couple days ago came out and determined that the inflation rate, I believe, was remaining stagnant, and that they were not touching the other rates that they're over. And why is that relevant to us? Well, the Fed they're the ones who set rates for, like, let's say you're trying to buy a house and you get a mortgage rate, and the Fed sets what those rates are at this time, depending on, what rates. I don't know. I don't know all the ins and outs. All I know is that if I want to buy a house right now, my interest rate a week ago is going to be the same as it would be now, because the Feds did not change those rates. But they're the ones that, like, if interest rates for mortgages got cheaper, it would be the Fed making that decision. And they decided not to. That did not make the presidency happy. They were hoping that rates would go down because that would reflect good on the presidency, but that didn't happen. They remained stagnant. Same with inflation. So, not that that's an exciting piece of news, but it's a piece of news that affects everybody ever, and they just don't know it.
I mean, I would have such a different opinion if it did go down and inflation was going down.
Oh yeah, and if inflation went down, that's the thing that people don't understand about inflation, is that inflation always exists. It always exists. The rate, like if someone says, "Oh, the inflation rate went down," that doesn't mean inflation stopped. It just means that inflation's not increasing at the same rate as it was before.
Right.
So it's still increasing. Inflation's always increasing because of the financial climate that this country is in.
No, it is a company.
Honestly, yeah. At this point, we are a company. We're trying to be a company. That's a whole other can of worms. But so anyway, inflation's always happening. Because I think deflation, or what's the opposite of inflation? Recession. That's what happened. I don't know. Anyway, just know that the rates are staying the same for now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's super exciting.
Which means when they say inflation going down, our inflation is really high right now. That's what that means.
Yeah, and it didn't change.
Nope.
So anyway, yeah, good times.
Well, moving right along to some pop culture news. Do you know who Rachel Zegler is?
Snow White.
And
the girl in the Hunger Games movie.
Yep. Yes.
That's not Katniss.
Right.
The other girl.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So she's been having so much backlash about talking down about the old Snow White for years now, since she said, and she announced it, because she originally was talking about how it was kind of a gross thing and how people were, I don't know, that Snow White was only hoping for the day that her prince will come, quote unquote, the song, right? And she was like, we wanted to put a more modern twist on it, which she quotes saying, while others say it's a woke culture thing, that they wanted to change the storyline based off of woke culture and not off of the fact that it was a weird sexist movie when it was originally created.
The cartoon, you mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I was like, there's been like 7 Snow White movies.
Right.
Kristen Stewart was in one of them, and that's all I can tell you. Kristen Stewart was Snow White.
Lily Collins was in one of them. The one that was like Mirror, Mirror.
Oh, yeah, sure. And I feel like not only are there like 7 Snow White movies, but they all came out like in the span of like 3 years of each other. Like It was like everything was Snow White.
Right.
Everything was a little bit Snow White, you know? Star Wars, a little bit Snow White. Avengers, a little Snow White. I don't know what she did, but everyone was like, we're all going to make Snow White, and they're all going to be different actresses.
Yeah.
Maybe it was a bunch of studios. It just dawned on me why everyone made Snow White, because it entered the, what's it called when, like, Steamboat Willie and Winnie the Pooh and Bambi, like, they all entered public access. Public domain, yeah. Like, anybody could use the
rights
intellectual property that is Snow White now. Okay, now it makes more sense. That's why everybody made a Snow White movie.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But yeah, I just feel like originally the movie was, it was sexist, and the people are just bagging on her. They bag on her for everything, and I feel that Hollywood just tries to put a bad light on Rachel Zegler. They did the same thing when she was in Hunger Games, because she's a woman and she's vocal and she speaks out, whereas a lot of other people who are A-list celebrities, quote unquote, who get their PR and publicists to be like, don't talk about these things. Rachel is kind of like, no. Because the same day, a different article that Daily Mail posted was bashing her about speaking up against the white executives, making her prove her Colombian heritage when she filmed West Side Story.
Ew.
So here's the thing. I'm pro Rachel Zegler. I don't think there's anything wrong with her. I just think that because she speaks up as a woman, that she gets dogged on more than the rest of the population. I don't know. And maybe it's just because that makes a good news story.
I guess I don't know much about the Rachel Zegler drama. All I remember is when the first images of Snow White came out, everyone posted so many pictures of Lord Farquaad. That's all.
They're still doing that.
Exactly. And they're not wrong.
No,
okay?
They're not wrong. They're not wrong.
What's sad is we've all seen pictures of Rachel Zegler. She's beautiful.
Right.
They could have done 500 different things with her hair, and they chose Lord Farquaad? That's the Rachel Zegler drama I care about, is the Lord Farquaad hair. Why? Right. Who didn't stop someone and say, hey, that looks like Lord Farquaad hair?
Yeah.
But I guess, and then otherwise, other than that, I just knew that she is in the movie with Gal Gadot, who's a Zionist, I think.
I have no idea.
She's pro-Israel and very vocal about that, and she served in the IDF, which is, if you don't know, that's the Israeli army. But from what I understand, all Israelis are they're required to serve in the IDF. So I don't know much about the Gal Gadot slander. I thought that's why people were crapping on Rachel Zegler, was because she was friends with Gal Gadot.
No, there's so many things about how Gal Gadot and Rachel Zegler are feuding, and they're not friends.
Enemies? It's like Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni 2.0.
I'll break that down one day after this whole court crap is done.
I don't know if I want to hear about that. Everything I hear about that movie. What was the movie called? All I know
It Ends With Us.
It Ends With Us. Everything I know about It Ends With Us, I learn against my will. Okay, every single thing. All I know is there's flowers and Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni.
Right.
And anyway, someday we can get into that.
But yes, Rachel, there's been a lot of rumors that those two are fighting. I think moral of the story, I think that Hollywood is being mean to Rachel for speaking out, and I think that is stupid, and they need to stop.
Hollywood kind of does have a history of trying to keep their actors and actresses
in line
because you can't cause controversy, because you can't sell movies if your cast is controversial. Like, that's like where a huge piece, like blacklisting. Like, even with all of like the Harvey Weinstein and Me Too, like people in Hollywood knew that was going on.
Yeah. They
just chose not to say anything, or else you got blacklisted. But now you can say things and not get blacklisted. And I think that Hollywood probably is mad about that, which is why they're probably paying all these news organizations to talk crap about Rachel Zegler, because they're salty that she's not just bending to their will.
Totally.
Anyway, that was my
contribution.
That was my soapbox moment. You know what? Now I'm
drop.
also team Rachel Zegler. Before I was team somebody get her a different wig, but I get it now. She didn't get a choice. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe the Hollywood execs were like, we're mad at her. Put her in that wig. Put her in this wig. And they were like, oh yeah.
Do you remember in Hannah Montana when Dolly Parton was on there and they're like, why is your hair so big? And she's like, because it's full of secrets.
Now that you're saying that, I do remember that. Oh, Dolly. Her hair was huge. Now I'm learning it's just because it was a wig.
Apparently we're Dolly stans in this house. And
we are Dolly stans.
I never realized.
I didn't realize it either, but I am a Dolly stan.
We're Dolly stans.
She's just so good.
She's so good.
She has that. She provides, I think it's like a mobile library, something to do. She makes sure she gives back to her community.
We need to go to Dollywood.
Okay.
Her theme park. Anyway.
I knew what it was.
Good job.
In case you were curious, I didn't know what it was, but poor Rachel. I didn't give this preface. Oh, I did kind of give this preface about how I get my news from the media. So I can say, according to NPR, but like every news organization is reporting on the things that I bring up. So travel to the U.S., and this is one that according to NPR, but literally anybody could be talking about this. But there are cases popping up of people from like the UK and Norway and Germany where they get to the US, and if their visa isn't pitch perfect, if there's something awry, they're throwing these people they're detaining them. Yeah. Like as criminals, like coming to the US.
I saw a news story about somebody in Canada that happened to them.
Yes, they're detaining people, which again, like, sure, okay, they had a misspelling on their visa or something. Detaining people? Are you for freaking real right now? So because of that, or I don't know if it's because of that, but I'm sure this fuels the fact that there are multiple countries that have sent out travel advisories about the U.S. and saying, hey, be careful traveling to the U.S. And I think that that's just so on brand for the U.S. is to become, we're really fulfilling our status as a third world country. You know, we're really making it, because you tend to get travel advisories for countries that don't have safe infrastructure. And that's what the U.S. is becoming. So that's fun. That's a fun piece of news. Because I could tie into that, just everything going on with immigration already, according to CBS, but it was either today or yesterday. I need to look at dates. I'll do that next time. For the masses out there, I'll get dates, okay? I'll be official. I'm not a journalist, though. Anyway, today or yesterday, Trump revoked the legal status of 530,000 people that are in the country legally, and he revoked their statuses and is urging them to travel back to the country. So I just want to talk to someone who is anti-immigration and says that they need to come here legally and ask them about this. I'd like to know your opinions about the people that came here legally and then still had their legal statuses stripped away. What are your thoughts on that? Comment and down below. Comment down below and tell me.
That's only on YouTube, guys.
And tell me your opinions about people here legally that are having their statuses revoked. And then on top of that, this will be my last piece, because, you know, talking about immigration just makes everybody sad, is that Trump, it's he said, she said. I think I know what happened, but, you know, I can only speculate. But a judge put a stop on the exportation of immigrants, of migrants, and said, hey, you can't deport I think it was a bunch of people that were suspected of being in like Venezuelan gangs, and a judge said you can't deport them until we confirm that these are actually, you know, because let me take a step back. There is something called the Alien Enemies Act, which provides the president the ability to deport people and kind of cut across the red tape. This act has only ever been used during times of war. One could argue we're in times of war now, who knows? But Trump has used this act to, even though all of these migrants, because that's part of the deportation process, you need to confirm who you're deporting. Well, a judge said, no, you can't deport all these migrants until you confirm who you're deporting, because Trump is saying they're all gang members, which would fall under the Alien Enemies Act. And because they're all gang members, we can get rid of them without going through the due process of, the legal process of deporting them. But because he is claiming they're all gang members, he can just kick them out. Well, a judge said, no, you can't just kick them out. We need to prove that they're all gang members. Well, this plane full of these migrants got sent out anyway, regardless of what the judge's orders were. From what I recall, when I was listening about this on NPR, National Public Radio, however, I don't know the entire facts. I believe it got sent just randomly to El Salvador. Ultimately, when the judge said, hey, you sent these migrants and you weren't supposed to, Trump said, no, I didn't. I didn't sign that. And that's where the he said, she said comes in, is, from my perspective, is these people who may or may not actually be in gangs, and I would bet some of them are not. Even there's these people that are not actually in gangs, they're trying to find ways to kick them out. And a judge, which it's the checks and balances, their job is to check the power of the government, said, hey, don't do that. And the government said, nope, we're going to do it anyway. And that's just another super fun sign of the authoritarian dictatorship that we're headed towards, if we're not already there. I'm not in charge. I'm just the queen. I don't think I get to choose whether or not we're in a dictatorship, but as a queen, it sure feels like it.
I'm the queen.
I'm the queen. Anyway, so yeah, that's the fun part about the U.S. is we're kicking everybody out, and if you try to come here, we still might detain you because we're jerks.
Yep. So proud to be an American.
Maybe we need a queen, Hey, God, well, never mind. Trump did say at one point, like literally yesterday, he thought that we should join the Commonwealth and have like the UK as our, excuse me, bestie? Like, I think that was one of the, he says things sometimes just to say things, kind of like how he was going to buy Greenland.
He likes the sound of his voice.
Or make Canada the 51st state. These are ideas of his that he just says, and then the media goes nuts and haywire and posts it all over the place. And I don't think that those are actual things that are going to happen. But anyway, so if we do become part of the Commonwealth, I volunteer as queen.
Great.
I will queen the Commonwealth. So, anyway.
Well, this next news story, we already kind of touched on it. Colleen Hoover. Do you know who that is?
So we're actually talking about, yeah, she writes books.
I'm not talking about Justin and Blake.
Okay.
I'm talking about Colleen Hoover.
I know who Colleen Hoover is, and she writes books, and people either love them or hate them. I don't know why they hate them, but I just know I've seen people on Book Talk that'll be like, Colleen Hoover, and then they make a stank face, and I'm like, I wonder why.
There are a lot of Colleen Hoover books that I've read that I've really liked, and there's a lot that I've not liked. Verity is one of the ones that I liked, and I'm so excited for that movie with Dakota Johnson and Anne Hathaway.
Oh, I love Anne Hathaway.
I know. Anyway, but Colleen Hoover, she's receiving a lot of backlash this week because she posted on, I think it was her TikTok account, that somebody marked down her merch items, and she called them out. Stephanie. Stephanie. She called out Stephanie. She's like, by name? I'll be broke on these discounted merch items. Keep in mind, she has 3 new movies in the works.
Colleen.
It's giving Anna Todd Harry Styles cringe.
I don't know what that means. Hannah Todd?
Anna Todd.
Anna Todd?
She's the one that made the After movies and based it off of Harry Styles.
Those are the fanfic movies.
Yes. It's just the cringeness of it, you know?
Colleen.
Like, she has so much money and she's like, you marked down my merch items.
Oh, Colleen. I don't even know what to say to that. I didn't.
Again, it's giving cringe. It's giving Anna Todd, Harry Styles, weird, untouched reality vibes.
Dang. Oh yeah, no. Once there are some people that they're not in the same plane of reality as we are.
Once they have $1 million in their sights, they're done.
Good to know. I'm just gonna donate every dollar I make after $999,999. $1 more. No, I can't do it.
Can't do it.
Become a jerk if I do that.
Ugh.
Hold on. So let me go back to. So Dakota Johnson's gonna be in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to ask what your opinions of Dakota Johnson were. I mostly ask because I liked her because her kitchen was cute. And she, was the downfall of Ellen. But I heard that she was a Nepo baby. So I was curious if you know things. Because, again, I didn't care enough to research. I just went, oh.
Here's the thing. And maybe this is my unpopular opinion. And maybe this is based off because I'm a therapist and have a lot of empathy. And maybe this is because I went through a 10-year, I don't know. I'm so different than who I was 10 years ago. But cancel culture is kind of gross to me. Unless they're being...
I didn't think Dakota Johnson hasn't been canceled, has she?
No.
But Ellen has.
Ellen has.
Ellen has been.
There's just
canceled.
a lot... cancel culture is just so toxic. And I think people are allowed to make mistakes. They just make it more public.
That's why I was scared of this podcast. I was like, I'm going to say something and get canceled.
Nobody hates us that much.
However.
Well, you could.
You could hate me that much and you could try to cancel me. But I think that's the bright side of being so unimportant. You can't cancel me. You can't hurt me. Okay? I can't be canceled. What's the worst that happens? I have to go to work on Monday?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I like Dakota Johnson. There you go. There's my long story short.
Okay, good. Then I do too.
I like her.
I didn't know if I was supposed to be able to like her or not.
No, I like her. I think she's been in some controversial roles, but I think overall she's just a good person.
She was in that Spider-Man movie that I didn't see. Madam Web.
Madam Web.
I heard she got salty that people didn't see that. And I was like...
I heard that she was making fun of the fact that it was that bad.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I just was like, oh, darn.
Anyway, cancel culture is toxic to me. So if Dakota Johnson does get canceled, I'll probably be upset with what she does. But again, people can make mistakes as long as you don't make them over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. I don't know.
I follow. Well, then I won't put her on my hater list.
Okay.
I couldn't tell you who's on my hater list right now, but Dakota Johnson's not there.
Right.
So.
Okay, Kassia, last one of the day.
My last one, we can talk about Doge.
Oh, wait, no, you have two more, don't you?
No, I kind of tied two of them together.
Okay.
Unless you want me to have two. Day. I could make two. I have other things I could talk about that I decided to not.
We're already approaching an hour, so you can do.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, Doge is looking at cutting or gutting libraries, right on par with the whole, de-educating the public. The word that Queen Kassia created is de-educating the public. And
are they going to take out the Colleen Hoover books too?
Probably, if they're not already gone. Because, they're trying to gut the libraries, which is unfortunate. But at the same time, I would hope that society would not, I don't know. I want to hope that people want to keep libraries, but I don't think they want to. Because that's the other thing is there's even before Doge talked about gutting the libraries, there's always been discourse of libraries cost money and they don't provide revenue. Libraries are socialist, just like public education is socialist
mindset.
Just like the USPS is socialist, just like Social Security is socialist. Like that's like libraries don't exist to create revenue, which is what Doge seems to think should be happening. The United States Postal Service does not exist to create revenue. It's a service. The libraries are a service. Social Security is a service. You know what also doesn't create revenue that I think we should gut? The military. Oh, what? Kassia, not the military. The military.
I think it's a good point to point out that the fact that they're focusing so much of their time on gutting the libraries, like that also is going to relate directly to the people who are not able to get educated because of the Department of Education.
Yes, no, they're taking away people's access to education. The only way people will be able to educate themselves is the internet. The caveat of that, the internet is flooded with propaganda right now. How do you know what you're learning on the internet is actually is true? You don't. That's why even when I talk about anything related to the news ever, I am just sharing what the internet has told me. Right. You know? Yeah. like I'm trying to think of even an example. The US could have decided that we were mad at Argentina and dropped a bomb on them.
Dang.
And because of the way that information is dispelled, there's a chance that I don't learn about it. And if the attack on education that is still happening continues to happen, and you take away the libraries and you really start to censor the media and you don't have a school to be able to learn from anymore, and then you get 10, 20, 30 years from now and nobody knows that we banned Argentina or bombed Argentina. We didn't ban them. But that's just like it's just so scary how having an uneducated public and then controlling the media, but that's also just all a part of an authoritarian fascist regime they control what the population knows, and that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
And like you and I right now, we can be woke, we can be aware of the fact that that's where our country's going. 30 years from now, I don't know what America's going to look like, but if it keeps going down this direction, it's going to look similar to, in my eyes, North Korea and Russia, where you can't disagree or you'll get defenestrated. Anyway. Yeah, so Doge is just trying to gut all of our social programs.
Great. So
that and part of me thinks that they're gutting these social programs because then guess what? Your wealthy friend who you had dinner with last week can come in and say, I'll buy the library. I'll save the libraries. But now your wealthy friend is charging for library cards. Like he's charging for those free services are no longer free. It's privatized, which comes. I could go on a whole rant, but I think Doge's whole aim is to gut our public infrastructure, and so that other wealthy people that are friends with the powers that be buy them up and privatize everything. And anyway, this is why it sucks to be the news person, because that's not fun to talk about. But that's all.
I think it was interesting to learn about it, though.
Good.
Connecting the dots.
Good. I never know if the things that I bring to you are things that you already knew, or if these are actually things that for some reason I know about because I care about it.
Some I know, but you know more about it than I do, which is why you're in charge of that part.
And again, my knowledge is a rudimentary knowledge. I don't know all the facts and details about everything. I don't know how everything works, and I probably say things that aren't correct. Probably. But I try to critically think about them, and at least I can admit if I say something incorrect. They do that in podcasts, right? Where like the next podcast you get in there and you're like, I need to make a correction.
Yes.
I only know that because
host
I
did
listen to
that.
NPR, and they do that on NPR where they'll be like, we said that they were started in 2011, but they were started in 2013.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but I'm not a journalist, so I don't have to do that, I guess. Anyway, that was all my news things.
I have one more story
I'm ready.
that I promised you that I'd talk about. Do you remember which one?
Selena Gomez?
Yes.
Can I say what I know? I know that all I know is that the internet really wants me to be anti Hailey Baldwin, and that
Bieber.
Hailey Baldwin. Everybody, not everybody, but I keep being fed videos of all these ways that Hailey Bieber is getting digs at Selena Gomez.
Mm-hmm.
And so I asked Trista earlier, I was like, is this just the internet trying to cause drama? Because the internet does that. I was like, or is there something to it? And I think ultimately they're just trying to cause drama, but I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. So this week, and the reason why it's been so big, well, we know that this whole decade, Justin Bieber, Selena Gomez, Hailey
Why do people
Bieber,
still care about that?
it's, this really sparked again because there was a 7-part series that was released from YouTube breaking down the Selena and Hailey feud.
Exciting.
So
a 7-part series.
A 7-part series.
Who has time for that? Do these people not have jobs?
So
is that what I would be doing if I was unemployed? Is I'd be making 7-part series into why we need a library?
Yes.
Anyway,
it's giving our friend who made the PowerPoint on potatoes.
Heck yeah, but that was a great PowerPoint. but even she's employed, and that was for a purpose, making a 7-part video about the non-existent feud between two celebrities.
It's getting news traction, and people are watching it, and they're getting money from it.
I need to start making up stories and making 7-part videos and making money.
Well, let me explain a little bit about it. So I saw a TikTok that was posting side-by-side comparisons of Selena and Hailey literally copying what each other is saying. And some people are saying Hailey is literally copying word for word what Selena Gomez is saying in some of these videos.
I saw a clip of that kind of.
You did?
I saw somebody post, they were will show Selena saying it, I think, okie dokie. And I think Selena Gomez, that's one of her catchphrases. Not catchphrase, but she says it a lot. And then I guess Hailey Bieber said it one time and everyone went, they freaked out.
So I'm going to pause and show Kassia the video I'm talking about.
Oh, I'm so excited. Oh my gosh.
Okay, she's just watched it.
She said okie dokie one time. Literally, all I got from that video was that Justin Bieber has a type. And they both grew up around the time when Britney Spears was popular.
So this is what I got out of the video. But first, I'm going to post the TikTok that I was referencing. I'm just going to leave a link to it. But people in their stage, their A-list celebrity status, have PR people for a reason. They're both probably being coached to say some of the same things.
Yes, that's the thing is, when they were talking about, I'm not in my 19-year-old body. I'm not in that body anymore. But we all have said that. We've all talked about, maybe we all haven't talked about that. But that's not an abnormally weird thing to talk about. Or we even, I don't know. I think that people are fabricating things.
So here's the thing. Both Hailey and Selena have come out multiple times over the years to be I don't think they're friends, but I think they don't not support each other. I think they're leave each other alone. They've both done that multiple times. And I think they are just both in the spotlight again because of all these rumors that were spiraling about Justin Bieber and Hailey Bieber divorcing. And then there was the Selena and Benny Blanco engagement. And then there was the Justin Bieber, people think he looks sick. But it really started to, not only when that 7-part series was posted, but Tate McRae.
Underwear girl.
Underwear.
All I know about her is she's always in her underwear. She's never.
I was waiting for that.
She's always in her underwear.
Well, Tate McRae allegedly was defending Justin and Hailey by clapping back, quote unquote, at Selena Gomez's new song with Benny Blanco, where the lyrics said, "You're so embarrassing. Go cry where no one is watching." Reaching, right? That's like reaching. Anyway, Tate McRae posted on Instagram, "Crying is cool. Trying is cool. Nothing is embarrassing. Live your life." Now, the reason why people are like, Tate McRae is on Justin Bieber and Hailey's side is because Kid Laroi and Tate McRae are dating. And the Kid Laroi and Justin Bieber made a song called Stay, you know?
I guess, I know the song.
Yeah, so this is why they think Tate is standing up for Hailey and Justin, because her boyfriend is friends with Justin. But she later posted on Instagram, literally, quote unquote, saying, "Guys, OMG, that was just a random quote not directed at anybody." Crying laugh emoji. Logging onto TikTok so confused. Only love here. Heart emojis.
Yep, that sounds like people are making drama up.
Again, this feud will never end, I don't think. I don't think this feud will ever end. But moral of the story, it's coming back up again. And people are just speculating and saying things. Here's the thing about Hailey is, do you think she has time to like sit in a room and watch all of Selena Gomez's moves and then also create her own brand and be a mom?
No, she just needs to watch a 7-part video posted to YouTube that talks about Selena Gomez's moves.
And I don't think, and Selena Gomez also has her own makeup brand that she's worried about, and she has a family she's worried about, and I think that there's no feud, but that's why the rumors are spreading right now, is because that 7-part series was out. Tate McRae posted on Instagram that actually was not directed at either of them. And then everything going on with Justin Bieber, people are just speculating.
You know, that's the part that I care about, okay? Where is Justin Bieber's stylist? Why do they let him walking around like he's starring in the next Adam Sandler movie? Okay, why does he look like that?
Maybe he's...
And you know what? Maybe that's his
method acting.
Maybe that's his fave outfit, is whatever that's got going on. And good for him. But as a former believer, I just think that he needs to find his stylist and bring the stylist back. Mm-hmm. That's my biggest takeaway. I don't care about the fake feud. Okay, let Selena and Hailey have their day. So they need to work together and find the stylist. Bring the stylist back. Bring Justin's stylist back. 2025.
I don't know if Selena should work with Hailey. I think they support each other, but I don't think they're friends.
Okay, but like, wouldn't that put the feud to rest?
No, somebody would probably create a rumor that Selena Gomez is sleeping with Justin Bieber, and they'd probably say like, Secret Life of Mormon Wives, they're swinging. I don't know. Crazy stuff.
I don't have the energy for that. Well.
Anyway, well, those were both of our 5 stories. I'm wondering if we should drop it down to like 3 each.
Probably. Trista, that's so hard. Do you have any idea how many breaking news stories Donald Trump himself creates on the daily basis? You want me to pick 3?
We can go day by day or podcast by podcast, being like, I'm going to come with these episodes. You can come with these episodes.
Yeah, we'll work it out.
But thank you guys so much for listening. This one's actually getting posted.
OMG. Yeah, thanks for listening. If you have opinions, don't tell me. leave it in the comments below.
And I won't read it.
And I won't read it because it'll hurt my feelings.
So we're going to be posting this on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. So you guys can find us there. You guys can listen to my podcast, Authenticity Speaks, the mental health podcast. Kassia's confused face.
Oh, I was just making a confused face because I didn't know you could just post a podcast on YouTube.
Yeah.
What do you have as the video?
You don't. It's just the audio. Crazy, right? But it gives access to a lot of people.
That's a whole
That's
new
why
world.
This is my job and it's not yours.
That's where, see, and I was over here thinking we weren't going to get any comments because it's on Spotify and Apple Music. No, there's going to be so many comments. Yeah, I just won't be able to ever listen ever.
But Yeah, my podcast Authenticity Speaks. You can also listen to it there. My TikTok it's Tris0, and my Instagram. We're gonna have an Instagram for this podcast. I'm not sure what it's called.
Tea and Ketchup.
It's probably Tea and Ketchup. But Kassia, do you have any plugs?
I don't have any plugs. I don't have TikTok. I don't post on the internet. I just consume the internet. Do I have any plugs? Support your local small business. I only said that because I bought coffee beans from a small business. And
Vote to save the libraries.
Save the libraries is my plug. Save the libraries, save Social Security, save our save USPS, and gut the military. That's my plug. I have a new plug. Gut the military.
Okay. Well, thank you guys for listening, and we will catch you on next week's episode. I think these are going to be coming out Sundays, hopefully, but catch us on the next pod. Bye. Bye.